Did we meet before? Certainly. Long ago, in the bosom of the ether where we were created as souls, we all were sleeping beneath the shroud of God's wisdom. When he awoke us, we wandered away from him, like the prodigal son in the Bible story, and forgot our divine kinship with one another. We became strangers. Having left our home in God, we are lone travelers of destiny on this earth. Do you realize how far away you have roamed, and that you have been wandering for many incarnations? How many, it is hard to tell. Yet now and then, certain experiences, places, and faces awaken in you an inner feeling of familiarity that whispers of past knowing. Each soul is omniscient, but its external, body-identified ego nature becomes limited to its present name, family, and environment. On that day when your soul shall remember its divine origin, your consciousness will live again in the great mansion of spirit, and you will know everything that is in spirit, just as you now know your little earthly home and family. It is a most wonderful experience to meet and recognize someone you knew before, someone with whom you have traveled the same pathway of life in former incarnations. All those in my family I knew from past lives. And every now and then I meet others who were known to me in previous incarnations, such as friends of my childhood. Though they have nothing in common with my present life, they are souls I had known before. Even before I had left India to come to this country, and later, when I first arrived in Boston, I was aware that there were many true friends of past lives that I would meet again here. I recognize distinctly those whom I have known before when I meet them in this life. To some of them I have said, "At last I have found you again, because we have been together before. Why have you waited so long?" I look for those who were to come here to be with me in God's work. Every day I call for them, "Where are you who were walking with me before?" Suddenly I see a face in the crowd, and I say to myself, "There is one who has heard my call." Even now, as I look at your faces, I cannot but think that sometime, somewhere, in the dim distant past, you heard my voice. And the call of that voice has brought you here. Why else, out of millions, were you prompted to come, if not that God has picked you? Some souls, those who are slightly awakened from the slumber of ignorance that veils memories of past lives, will stop and think, "Yes, I know what he is saying. Somewhere I have heard his voice before. It is not unfamiliar to me." I never saw my usually reserved guru, Swami Sri Yukteswari, as excited as when we first met. He knew that I instantly knew who he was, and he knew more than I knew. As Krishna said to his beloved disciple, "O Arjuna, many births have been experienced by me and by thee. I am acquainted with them all, whereas thou rememberest them not." I can never forget the joy of recognizing Master at that first meeting. Never in my life have I met anyone as great as he. He lived the Spirit of God. Sri Yukteswari was very humble and also very stern. If you associated with him as a friend, you would never have cause to be timid around him. But if you came to him as a disciple, woe unto you if you couldn't take incisive discipline. He never dealt with your words, he worked with your thoughts. Many couldn't take his strictness. But I rejoiced when I saw that he was clearing all wrong thoughts from my mind and filling me with divine wisdom. Such a wonderful fount of wisdom he was, for when you love God truly, you know all that he knows. Master was a true lover of God.